Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Today is Friday, September the 7th. Today was the day of the great, grand rest and reflection, protests. We, the Progressive Empowerment Party, we led a march from our headquarters to the Prime Minister's office. We served him with a letter. The letter is on Facebook. It's available to everybody. And I will, if I remember, read the letter into the conversation as we go. Something I want to read to you though. Since 4 o'clock today, the San Fernando General Hospital, let me see if that's what the city, the generator has not kicked in. And that comes on the heels of the Minister of Health, Terence Dayal Singh, saying the health sector has seen a 100% turnout of health workers today. Not satisfied with that as a statement, he said, the minister said, in some cases, the figure is even above 100%. I stopped reading there. Today I learned that a political party exists called the Organization of Independence. I do not know what the education system is doing to our people. That basic understanding is eluding us. This jackass thinks that you can have more than all of your workers. So he is thinking, trying to make his PNM point, that even more workers than were rostered to work showed up. That is a more than healthy health sector. That's people who just, you're watching a football game, things going a little hard, you side down, you jump on the field and you score 2 goals and you go back up in the stand. You wasn't rostered to play, but you had to pull out the side in a pinch. Yes, that's funny. Imagine if 2 Trinbagonians jump out their seat, running the field in the oval to help catch because Bravo and them drop in. They're not rostered to play more than 100% of the team. And to the people who are behind the Organization of Independence, I don't want to mash your toes early in the game, but you have to, you can't come into this thing on stunt. Trinidad is a delicate, we're on life support. This country on life support. Women going missing. Police, people dressed as police or actual police implicated in 3 September kidnappings, 2015, 2016, 2018. We can't bullshit the country right now. We can't come along, no, and distract people with foolishness. I will eat you up. I will open you up for everybody to see. If you are forming a political organization, be real, be a real thing. Be something that people could really, I don't care that you don't have to support me. I talk this all the time. I want everybody to support me. I want to live in a country where everybody's so bright they realize that Philip Edward Alexander is a brilliant man. And that, I want you to cuss right there, brilliant effing man. But in my mind, I remember people pointing out, people don't like the cussing. Philip is a brilliant man, but you don't have to vote for him. But it's in your best interest to hire him. Because if you read the policies of the Progressive Empowerment Party, you say, but wait, now that will work. Like Keith Rowley, and Faris Arawi, and Carl Membert, and Stuart Young. When they heard me speak about dry docking facilities, jump out themselves and they launch one in Labre. No problem. So if you understand that all of our policies are that good, you would take it upon yourself, whether you like me or not. Some people like the dimples, some people can live without them. But it doesn't matter. Like Rowley's shiny bald head, doesn't matter. Some women get a kick from that, others prefer men a little more furry. And it doesn't matter how we look or how we sound. What matters is what we do and what we are capable of doing. But I want to come back to my friends, Organization of Independence. People are not going to follow you if you sound foolish coming out the gate. Now I want to tell you, take my stupid advice, and I know, I don't blame you, there is a PNM education and I know you suffered through it. And I know that your teachers didn't tell you what an oxymoron was. An oxymoron is having in one description something that contradicts itself by its very nature. If you are an organization, you are a decided gathering of people. If you are an independent, you've decided to do it alone. You can't be both. You can't be an organization of alone people. Come on. Come on. Step it back. put it in, back to the drawing board, because I want to show you the Progressive Empowerment Party. This is before we even hit the ground. You see how they get to do a soft launch on Facebook and nobody can give all a stick? I could have tried that, save real time, real money. Because before we even came to the country as a party, we did months of work. Months of work. The four founders of this party and to the PNM and the UNC and every other single political party outside there that exists, only the Progressive Empowerment Party has its original four founders still. So when you hear that the Maxi pull over on the side of the road and two people jump out, don't over talk that. Party's still big and strong and people saw it today. In fact, all the talkers, they kind of gear back and they kind of rethinking how to come at us. Because the last of the things was that it is a small nothing party. And Hema Ramkissoon and Fazir Mohammed going out of their way to silence us. Listening to Robin Montano on Hema Ramkissoon yesterday. Somebody sent me the video and I listened to Robin and I think, you know what? Robin, you're a good guy. The name of tonight's video is It's Still a Matter of Trust. I did a video a week ago called A Matter of Trust. Go and listen to that and go and listen to Robin Montano on Hema show. Hema Ramkissoon. As Christ said, if you silence me, even the stones will speak out. I don't care if the people don't get the message from Philip Edward Alexander. As long as the people get the message. Good job delivering the message, Robin Montano. I want to come back to the Progressive Empowerment Party, so the Organization of Independence and all of the other political parties that want to come will understand how you form a political party. We spent months discussing, debating, arguing. What is the party's philosophy? What is its ideology? What are its overarching principles? Because you see, once you arrive at that, Jim, Mary, Harry, Sally, it don't matter who sits in my chair. Once they understand what the philosophy, the ideology, and the overarching principles are, the same boat will take you to the same place regardless of who the captain is on the helm. That's how a proper political party works. So we have a philosophy, we have an ideology, and we have overarching principles. We needed a name. We wanted to make sure that every single thing about this Progressive Empowerment Party tied into each other. So that when you came at it, no matter, you know, they have this situation where people come at an elephant from the trunk, somebody else come from the tail, a man hold the leg, all of them blind. One says a snake, the other one says a tree. They didn't know what they were. We wanted that no matter how you came at the Progressive Empowerment Party, you'd find your way back to the central truth. That this party is about people, and it's about rebuilding the home and the family. You hear say like a rising tide lifts all boats, because we believe that once all of our people are lifted, society would function. That if we rebuild the home and the family and the community, as a nation is a collection of communities, the entire nation would work. So we decentralized power and authority and we brought the power of government back to the people. That's the philosophy of the Progressive Empowerment Party. Our ideology is one people under one flag. So when you see us with a board today that says we the 99%, it's all of we. One people under one flag. No race, no religion, no division, nothing. Now there is a 1% in Trinidad and Tobago, and it's not just Syrians. And I know the Syrians taking a bad rap right now, but a lot of them do that to themselves. Mario Sabga Aboud and Peter George Sr. talk a set of shit to posture for a white man who come down here and they feel like that was the big shot equivalent of spinning rims and grill. That is what Mario Sabga was doing. He was showing you he grilled, telling you about the 126 stores he opened one a month. And nobody ever asked him where he get the money to open one store a month, but we'll stick a pin there. The 1% is more than just the Syrians. And the reason we say we the 99%, it's not hate. It's that we, the 99%, want the same benefits that the 1% have. That's all we want. We want to know that the same squad that you could unleash to find Colm Imbot's son's phone, you could unleash to find every missing person. Because I find it strange bordering on ridiculous that they find Kamal George's car twice, but they can't find this girl once. And it's 3 women that I know of that people keep talking of, but there are about 100 of them that missing. We talk about the good hair and the light skin ones. But about 100 women missing from Trinidad and Tobago. And again, that whole good hair and light is right and all that bullshit is a story for another conversation. But it's a conversation we have to have, because if black people in Trinidad and Tobago were to develop self-respect today, we would need political parties. Why Trinidad is run as badly as it is? Because black people do not have self-respect and allow other people to puppet black people in front of them and do what they want. Since Columbus got away with it with the Arawaks and the Caribs, they've been doing that to dark-skinned people in Trinidad and Tobago, and it's just continuing. But no self-respecting person putting up with the bullshit that black people is put up with in this country. I don't know what they do them. I hope to be able to educate, inform, empower, liberate, and emancipate them. But if I can't, I can't. But I want to tell you, we're not going forward as a nation. All the fancy talk, you see everybody talking, everybody, throw it away. If we can't get black people to respect themselves and to make better choices and to demand more and to demand better, we ain't going nowhere. No way. DJ Genius Megamix says, I have self-respect, sir. I absolutely believe you, because you are on this wall and you're following me and you're fighting to get a better condition for yourself. So I agree with you. And like in everything, there are Syrian people involved in all kind of criminality, and there are Syrian people who are not. There are Chinese people who are involved in all kind of criminality, and Chinese people who are not. And there are black people who have self-respect. And there are black people who live, people of African descent, who live perfect lives that everybody else should follow. Unfortunately, they're in the minority. In Trinidad and Tobago, the vast majority of the people suffering in Trinidad and Tobago are black. And a black political party has had social and financial control of this country for more than 80% of its independent existence. We are getting information that shocks me. $240 billion is what Petrotrin gave this country. People talking about Petrotrin like it's a ward of the state. If that was a real run company, Petrotrin should have $240 billion in its bank account. Peaks and the rest of the people who own Unipet, I know Peaks were shareholders, if they're still shareholders, Peaks and the rest of the people who own Unipet owe Petrotrin $500 million US. How's that possible? We ain't talking about this. When we named it the Progressive, wait, before we even get to the name, our symbol is an umbrella. We looked at all manner of symbols and we settled on an umbrella because we agree that all the people need shelter and safety from the harsh elements of political corruption and mismanagement, sun and rain. So our symbol is an umbrella, that everybody is safe under the umbrella. And we chose a color. I'm wearing an orange jersey now. We chose the color orange because the color orange not only, ironically, coincidentally, red and yellow make orange, but because orange is the internationally accepted symbol for safety and protection, again, tying in with our umbrella and the whole reason for the existence of the Progressive Empowerment Party. So we had our principles, our ideology, our overarching philosophy, and we have our logo, and we have our color, and we named the party. We started off, and people make the mistake and call us this anyway. We started off calling ourselves the People's Empowerment Party. Before we launched, this was our working title, the People's Empowerment Party. But it sounded too close to the mission of the People's National Movement. And it wasn't just to empower the people. Yes, the mission is to empower the people. But you can't empower the people with foolishness. And that's what the PNM does. The PNM empowers people with nonsense. There are people who believe that they live a good life, working OJT, CPEP, URP, and they're good with the hustle. They believe they've been conned into thinking that lineup, that lottery, that spend your life waiting, that you meet the right link up to get a HTC house? You okay with that? We wanted that our empowerment to actually give people something to strive for, to show what's wrong and teach you what's right. Give you a chance to say, you know, and I love when people do that. I love when people do it. You know, I never looked at it that way before. Now, before I got into all of this politics, I was a father, so I couldn't be involved. It's when you're a full-time parent. But I was always driven to be involved. So instead of being actively involved in politics, I did a lot of reading and a lot of research and a lot of problem solving because I like doing that. That's how my mind works and it's my thing, so don't study me. I drive in on the road and I stop by a traffic light. My mind times the traffic lights. I look for problems and I try to find solutions. That's how my mind works. All the time. So that's where I am. I was writing a book that is 90-something% complete called Reboot the Republic. The working title was Reinventing Trinidad and Tobago, the common sense guide to a better TNT. And when we say that to empower the people, you need to give them something progressive. Because Trinidad is broken by design. If you are an honest person, because again, we have a lot of dishonest people in big public positions, media, public office, talkers, highfalutin lawyers, accountants, chamber of commerce, this, Trinidad and Tobago manufacturers that. They don't give a shit about nobody. As long as their pocket full and their belly full and their fridge full, fire truck you. And we needed to make sure that we weren't just another one of them. We weren't just another one of them. Let we get together, let we link up, let we name it something, and let we see if we could get a bag of money election time. Because that seems to be the game. Bag of money politics. Because if you don't have an actual plan that changes the country, of what use are you? Why would they want a different flavor of the bullshit they already have between the PNM and the UNC? The Progressive Empowerment Party brings to the conversation such drastic and dynamic change that both the government and the opposition struck down. They can't answer. Hema Ramki soon prefers to hear my truth come out Robin Montano mouth because her bosses and the owners of CNC3, Sabga News Network, scared to death that people are knowing and following me. We are waking up minds and freeing the slaves. We are like those people who come along and tell all the slaves there's life outside of this plantation. And I want to tell you something. Without a lot of people, because you see me every night, or you see me often, and you hear me speak. But without Felicia Holder, there'd never be a Progressive Empowerment Party. Without Sean Sunera, without Maya Khan, without Anne-Marie Dulal, without Ian Griffin, without Harry Hunt, everybody brings something to the table. Without Kenneth Luke, we have so many people in this party. Anthony and Jones Sidanan, Ali G, Dilwood Bradford when he was here. When he was here. He's not here anymore. We have relied on many people. This party, so when we showed up today outside the Prime Minister's office, and I'll tell you something, that's not even a percentage of who we are. I just who came. I could name names for you that if they were there, and I'm here talking about hundreds of people that would have swollen the ranks, but everybody have a life and everybody busy and people messaging me, this happened, that happened. But I also know that people need to see that something is successful for bandwagonism to pile on. And I understand that too. People are coward, people are timid, people are afraid. I've been in different types of business. One of them was the promotion business. And at some point when you establish yourself with events, you get to an event where everybody tells you, I was with you all the time. But that's not really the truth. But anyway, the party was given this information, which is the bedrock of the Progressive Empowerment Party. It is the policies that would drive a Progressive Empowerment Party government. But not only were we focused on getting into government, not only were we focused on the politics to get into government, we wanted to be ready with the actual, the policies I'm about to read for you. We wanted to be able to unroll them one time. You see how 3 years in, Keith Rowley still fumbling? You see how 2 years in, Kamala was still riding on the back of a truck in New York City wearing sash, Jack Warner had her as a Barbie doll parading while he was tinkering, whatever he was tinkering. Political parties play one game, the win game. They come to win. They plan for the wedding. Nobody planning for the marriage. The Progressive Empowerment Party is properly planned, and it is properly organized, and is properly structured. And behind the scenes, there is something separate and apart from all of the politics that we do, called the Advisory Council. And the Advisory Council's job is to continue to think and work on these policies and have them ready. As soon as we're in a position to do this, we want to unleash 2 documents. 1, the Manifesto Reboot the Republic, and 2, a contract with Trinidad and Tobago called Just Push Play. That you would know not only the what, but the when, the proposed who, the why, the how much, even the where. You could stop any PEP member at the highest level and ask them questions about what's your food policy, what's your housing policy, what's your education policy, what's your plan to do about this, what you plan to do about that, how will you solve flooding? And you will see, and our policies, they dovetail, and we say that all of these policies are grouped together because these take care of that, and these take care of this. And it makes so much sense that you want to go and bring a candle and put it and light it and make PEP your religion. We don't want that. I don't want to be a cult. What we want is open minds. We want people set on fire with so much knowledge, so much information, that when jackass politicians come to you like Terence D. Alsing to tell you more than 100% of the workers turn up today, you'll be able to say, Terry, that's not possible. When the Organization of Independence come to you and say, hey, you can't be independent and an organization. Pick a struggle. The Progressive Empowerment Party, even if we never get government, we know in 19 short months have so indelibly changed the national conversation. The thing wonky, it's shaky. Petrotrin workers, strong. And not just Petrotrin workers, everybody. People not taking shit anymore. Now, it might be difficult. It might be tough for many who have let it go for so long that they don't know how to deal with the stark reality that sometimes you need to fail something. I told that to a PEP team and shocked them. And I said, sometimes it is better when you give somebody a position to let them fail. 2 things will happen. They will learn and improve, and 2, you will determine if they are the person to go forward now that they've learned. Because, I'll tell you this, we've all failed spectacularly. The most courageous thing the average person ever does is walk. And we don't know, we don't pay attention to walking because we do it like walking. But when you walk, you literally throw yourself off balance and have absolute faith, confident expectancy, confidence in yourself to catch yourself. If something interrupts your catching foot, that is when you fall. That's called a trip. But the average person takes for granted that what they're doing is a minor miracle and worse. You learned that as a baby. You learned to walk. You learn to throw yourself down and catch yourself, and throw yourself and catch yourself, and throw yourself and catch yourself, and that's how you walk. We all have the ability to learn and to do better and to change. The Progressive Empowerment Party's policies are arranged in an order and a purpose. A woman named Nellie came on a thread today and said, you just showing us what's wrong, but you never show us what's right. And I said, ma'am, I've put out millions of words, hundreds if not thousands of hours of live videos. I am around every single day having this conversation. And if you didn't see it, Don't blame me. Blame Hema, blame Fazir, blame Newsday. Because there's an abundance of information that you could share. Let's talk quick. The Progressive Empowerment Party believes home ownership for all is the bedrock of a reinvented Trinidad and Tobago. And when we say home ownership for all, we insist that we mean even minimum wage earners. So that if you are a sole parent earning minimum wage, you should be able to afford to buy a house. How would you do that? We need to make sure that there are houses on the market for under $100,000 so that normal lending criteria applying, a minimum wage earner could afford it. Now, if you borrow money from the bank, the way the bank's mortgage is set up is that you pay 100% of the value of the house as interest and still owe 100% of the value as principal halfway into the loan. The Progressive Empowerment Party believes and subscribes to the idea that we spend so much money in social management exercises. Frederick Douglass said it is easier to raise functional children than to fix and repair broken men. And we believe so, that the money that we spend after the fact, the 17 billion in the past 2 years, 10 billion a year now on national security, we could spend that creating crucibles. You see, the family is the front line of national security. The family is where character is developed. If you build proper families, if you return this country back to the family, and you rebuild the family, and you make it possible for daddy and mommy to work normal jobs and come home and take care of their family and raise their children, and all of a sudden, you do not end up with the abundance of criminally minded, broken zombies and drones. But we're electing charlatans and puppets, stunt artists and fools to government who don't have these conversations with you. But you need to have these conversations with them. You need to say, listen, if your party, your organization, your government doesn't have home ownership for all as a central pillar, you are not going to be able to redevelop the communities and make them functional and strong communities built on families. And that if a whole street is owned by all the people in the, you can't have no drug block springing up because everybody own their home. And you may have 2 of them for rent and a drug block rent one, the other 8 or the other 10 calling the police because you're interfering with my property and you're interfering with the value of my life. We will change it. 0 deposit, 0 interest for 30 years for first-time homeowners up to $1 million makes it possible for the average person who has, if you're earning $2,250 a month, which is the minimum wage salary, if you're earning $2,250 making sandwiches for Subway, mopping the floor in KFC, or twirling battles for Amalgamated Security, if you're making $2,250 a month, we say you should be able to buy up to 1,100 square feet, 2-bedroom starter home for you and your family for $100,000. And that your mortgage payment, normal lending criteria applying, would be $500 a month. And for that $500 a month, you would be saving and investing in your own future and to have something to pass on to your children. Because that money going into that house, paying for that house, is your property, is your equity. If you default, if you decide to become a spranger, if you abdicate your responsibility, if you default, if you fall short, if you stop paying, they put you out and sell the house. So you know that you will lose. Every $500 you pay, not only are you saving yourself a world of commerce and rent, but you're creating a nest egg for yourself in the future. National security. You cannot have this country continue to function the way it does and not pay attention to the fact that drug barons and the criminal-minded organized companies that are engaged in criminal activity have a free run at the nation borders. Our maritime security wall plan literally shuts the borders down. You can no longer motor up any river in Trinidad and offload what the hell you please. You would have to go to dedicated landing sites and ports where customs and immigration are. In Trinidad and Tobago right now, you could drive up any beach, anywhere, and offload anything. And nobody know you're coming. And they have no way to stop you. With a maritime security wall, there would be 6 repurposed oil barges 3 miles out at sea, interconnected by a 360-degree radar, manned by Immigration, Customs, Police, and Coast Guard, equipped with fast interceptor boats and attack helicopters. What that means is, and connecting between them would be sonar buoys. They would also be backed up by drones that could fly over and check and see what you are. All this technology exists. All this technology exists. 3 miles out at sea, you're coming to Trinidad and Tobago, they ask you, the Coast Guard call it the closest one of these repurposed facilities. We don't have a name for it yet. Maritime Security Wall is what they all together called. They contact you and tell you you're entering Trinidad and Tobago territorial waters. Identify yourself and your purpose. Because if you are a vehicle or a ship that is accustomed to coming and going and they have a certain level of trust, well, maybe they could organize that. Generally, we would prefer that they stop and search everybody because Siri glance to make sure all things copacetic and safe. If you do not take them on, they could dispatch a drone to surveil you, to see what's going on. They could dispatch a fast interceptor boat and an attack helicopter. That if you do not stop, they have the authority to sink you to protect Trinidad and Tobago. First world law enforcement. Imagine a country where we could engage the services of foreign law enforcement, internal affairs, and investigation teams to clean up the police service. New York Police Department said they could do it in 6 months. We have a new commissioner of police. And I hope that he undertakes, because I worked with him, and I know that he has connections with Bill Bratton, and that he has connections with the New York City Police Department. So I hope that he goes down this road. Once you clean up the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, and you have a robust internal affairs division, because New York City police tell you, they're not afraid gangsters, they're not afraid bandits, they're not afraid terrorists, they're afraid internal affairs. If you have a robust internal affairs, not manned by Trinbagonians, we too corrupt and corruptible. Let's bring in foreigners on contract. Your work is to lock up corrupt police officers. And if you have that as your situation, all of a sudden things start to make sense. Because you'll be able to tell the difference between rich man, poor man, beggar man, thief, doctor, lawyer, Indian chief. Right now, you can't tell. You can't tell. 3 women kidnapped. All 3, the last interaction they had was with people purporting to be police. And the issue we had to discuss. Because if you lose trust in the police service and the police service can't pull you over, then we have a problem. So we have to deal with that. We have to address that at a future time. But it is important. But if you have your police service right-sized and respected, you could now incentivize and motivate them. Polygraph and drug test them. Give them incentives to work above and beyond the call of duty and to clean up the country of crime. From criminals to contributing citizens, we believe those who run afoul of the law and end up in jail should be given the tools to return to society better equipped than when they entered. Mandatory literacy, therapeutic counseling, and conflict resolution skills, together with opportunities to learn trades and even attain university degrees, would be offered to encourage personal development and provide hope and opportunity away from a life of crime. Think about it. Somebody that goes to jail for 15 years that come out with a master's or a doctorate, is that the same person who went in? No. Putting them back and sending them back into the same community they came from, they are a positive ripple in a broken pond. First world healthcare. These are all progressive policies. And you have to hear them. Because you have to want them. You have to know that you deserve them. That we as a country already spend more than the money that it takes to have them. When we say we deserve better, this is what we mean. Build and operate 41 constituency healthcare facilities complete with accident and emergency minor surgery services that would put healthcare within easy reach of all citizens 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Deploy professionally trained call center control paramedic ambulance service to fire stations, health centers and or police stations to allow for emergency responses in under 10 minutes nationwide. Monitor fleet via GPS. All of a sudden, if you get in trouble, there's a proper first world developed nation response. Prestige education for all. Abolish the child abusing SCA. Make all schools 10-year zoned schools. Establish a grade point average GPA system that monitors the performance of students, teachers, and principals simultaneously. Create constituency education board of supervisors. Higher education and skills training. Make education financing available that can be repaid either as loans or through the public service in disciplines deemed essential to national development. Establish assessment facilities for skills and trades certification. Develop a national trades and skills master plan to guide career choices. It's kind of counterintuitive and simply easy to understand. Food independence. Set food targets based on national consumption data. Make farmland available rent-free to small farmers. Set crop schedules. Purchase, harvest, and distribute produce through 41 constituency, wholesale, and retail markets. Don't those policies sound progressive? Don't they sound like they will start to make Trinidad a better place? Tobago and Trinidad. Until an actual bridge is built, we must work to ensure that all goods and services that are available in Trinidad are also available in Tobago at the same prices. I call it a brick, a block, and a banana policy. And that movement between both islands is uncomplicated and affordable. Establish within the sister isle opportunities for further education in tourism and agriculture, and create credit facilities that support the development of these and other industries. Alternative renewable energy. Develop alternatives to oil and gas, encourage wind farms, solar array, and tidal generation used to provide cheap, abundant, and clean energy for all. Clean, reliable pipe-borne water for all. Decentralize water management and distribution to all 41 constituencies through the establishment of a constituency-owned and operated water purification and distribution plant, responsible for sourcing their own supply through bulk transmission, wells, rainwater retention dams, and ponds, or desalination. This plan would quickly allow citizens to benefit from a reliable, clean source of water 24/7. In other words, wherever you live, Toko Manzanilla. Imagine Toko Manzanilla had its own separate wasa, just for Toko and Manzanilla. And its job is to find water and to store, purify, and distribute just to the residents of Toko Manzanilla. Diego Martin West would have its own. So when water go in Diego Martin West, it's Diego Martin West facility down, not all 41 in the country. And they could all be solar and wind powered. A war on poverty. Make universal home ownership a reality and job creation a top priority. This is critical. The government's first job must be to make sure that everyone else has a job. We have ambassadors and high commissioners all over the world costing us hundreds of millions of dollars being wasted. They serve no purpose. I can't remember what the last time I heard an ambassador or a high commissioner sold Trinidad or brought business to Trinidad. What is their purpose other than to dress up like monkeys and go on party and clink glasses and cocktail fets? Forget that. Fire all, bring them home. We need 5, if so much. Asia, Americas, Europe, Africa, United Nations. That's it. Those 5. Those 5. Because you live in a world of FaceTime and instant messaging. Even fax machine is redundant now. Email. There was a time a letter and an interview was important. Now, Donald Trump could call Putin on the phone. Them don't need to go through intermediaries. Encourage foreign direct investment in labor-intensive business partnerships. Set medium-term national jobs for all master plan that leaves no citizen behind. Establish living wage policy to guide minimum wage. When I say to guide minimum wage, there will be items in the economy that you peg it to. That the moment this goes up, this goes up. So that you know. Because you can't tell people that you're living on minimum wage, the price of flour go up, the price of gas go up, the price of oil go up. 3 essential things to your life and your salary or your wage and raise. Because that's just putting the cost of the development of Trinidad and Tobago on the people who could least afford it. But that's wrong. Regulate the financial sector. This is of critical importance. Interest to be paid on depositors' funds at rates set by central bank. Abolish all banking fees not compliant with terms of banking license. Open the banking sector to international competition. Cap the spread on foreign exchange. The difference between the prices for buying and selling foreign exchange, the spread, puts an unnecessary 13% tax on the economy. Capping it to under 3% would save billions of dollars lost to artificial inflation and bank profiteering. From employee to employer. Startup support for small businesses with demonstrated potential for success. Operational credit to assist with recurring expenses of rent, electricity, and raw materials for approved projects, monitored by dedicated case officers and designed to achieve profitability in quick time. You are a case officer and you have 20 people working below you, and all 20 of them getting minimum finance to operate their business. And if all 20 of them fail, you fire. If all 20 of them succeed, you promote it, and every version of in between. That's how you manage everything. Public office reform. Make all public office holders accountable. Full stop. Enact recall and termination legislation for instances of non-performance and misconduct in public affairs. Electoral reform. Cap election spending that disqualifies candidates for breaches. Enact equal opportunity media law. Remove the $5,000 deposit currently required to contest an election. Candidates must reside within the constituency they hope to represent. Shut down all special purpose companies and establish robust and transparent tenders process that disconnects purchase decisions and contract awards away from the political directorate. Sell non-essential state companies. Decentralize all public developmental and maintenance work to constituencies, with all contractors and employees having to reside within the constituency where projects are located. Decriminalize marijuana. Apply tax to plastic bottles at manufacture or importation stage. Establish new city within easy access from all corners of TNT for offices of state currently based in Port of Spain. All of these things, properly done, simultaneously, will fix Trinidad and Tobago and put it on a path to automatic first world developed nation status. Plain talk. And our job, and this as a progressive, empowering organization, our job is to make sure that this is the national conversation. So we can't just come in there and have the same old bacchanal noise that no MP wives getting contracts. Agreed. But we can't come in there and make the same old bacchanal noise that everybody else making. So when we tell you that we are committed to a course of action here that is different to any political party this country has ever known. The PNM was set up to get independence and to wrest control of the treasury from the white colonialists. And that's what they did. They had no plan to go forward. They had no plan to develop the country. That's why the first recession hit us so hard. We had no plan. None. The Progressive Empowerment Party is the complete opposite of that. More than anything, what we have are incredible plans. Our plans, just our plans, as a blueprint for fixing Trinidad and Tobago are indisputable. There are people who would like to challenge you, but they don't have ground to stand upon. They can't explain to you what currently obtains, nor do they understand how it should function. So when you try to explain both of that to them, they retract and ad hominem, personal attacks, racism, bullshit. We have time with that. Trinidad and Tobago, for it to be a country worth saving, worth living in, when that girl was kidnapped, South was supposed to shut down immediately. Any person, everybody. You see, with the 41 constituencies set up to operate almost autonomously, with a security supervisor for San Fernando West, where she was. That supervisor, from the moment some crime get committed in your constituency, you up and you alert and your people on the go. And if you find out that they left your constituency to go into another constituency, you immediately passing that information on because you want to empty your hands. You want to either solve the problem in your constituency or pass it on to the next person whose responsibility it is to empty your hands. That person now in the great relay that is in the management of Trinidad and Tobago, in this case, the application of a security response, that person is now liable for this missing girl. And it will continue so until they find her. Somebody would always be responsible. To put cameras on all the main roads in this country It's a tiny contract. We've done it about 4 times and turned them off every time. Don't ask me why. But all of this is why the Progressive Empowerment Party exists. Our plan is to change the national conversation through the empowerment, the educating, the informing, the emancipating, the liberating of all the people. So that the Prime Minister and the opposition leader and all of their bandwagons will get either tired of hearing critically aware people asking questions at the level that they were supposed to ask since 1962. And they will either get their act in order, they will get themselves in gear, or they'll give up. We need to have a country where the people are so in tune with what they're entitled to, with their rights, roles, and responsibilities in a democracy, that you can't fool them. Damian Lamia, reading all your comments. Come to the meeting tomorrow in Arouca, 5 Rivers, tomorrow evening. That massive crowd we get today, we want a more massive crowd in Arouca. Damian Lamia, come and you will talk to me personally. You want to make a contribution, we have an open mic. Talk to the people. Come and do what we do. Come and help. Add your voice, add yourself. We say this every night. Tomorrow there is no meet and greet, noon meeting like we normally have every Saturday, because we have this Arouca meeting. And because we were very involved in organizing this protest and everything, so we kind of swamped. Yeah? So, tomorrow evening, the Progressive Empowerment Party entire team, our whole frontline, will be in Arouca to present to the people of Arouca, the caretaker for Arouca, introduce you to the membership team, the mobilization team, so that Arouca could start to get itself ready for elections. That's the purpose of these cottage meetings. When we come, it is to lay the groundwork to give you somebody responsible to you and to us, and they're responsible for a team, and that team will help build out your constituency by community, by neighborhood, by street, by house. And they will organize. We are engaging something nationally right now being led by Tony Defoe, which is called the CME, the Constituency Mapping Exercise. And there are also going to be people in every constituency on behalf of the Progressive Empowerment Party, just getting your information and getting you ready, making sure that you register to vote and organizing all the things that you need to do, so that come election time, they can't blindside you. Because we had to be ready. This EBC, this broken country, so many things that are untrustworthy, we have to over-engineer. And that's what we're trying to do. Tomorrow, Arouca, it's your turn. Come out in all your numbers. Come out, Damian, come and meet with me. Write down all your ideas. Let's talk. Come out, and this is what we want. We want people talking ideas. We want all of you tomorrow, Arouca. And you don't have to just be from Arouca, because we're dealing with national issues. Come and join us. Come out in your numbers. Come and give Arouca support. Next week, I think it's next week or the following week, we're going to be launching San Fernando East and San Fernando West at the same time, because that's going to be one of the poles we're creating. South, a South Pole, a West Pole, East Pole, a Central Pole, and a Tobago Pole. And those poles are going to be like a management hub for all the other constituencies, because they're all going to get either caretakers or shadow MPs, and they all will work together in a national master plan. I want to tell you something. There is no other political party. If the PNM stop paying bribe money through your treasury, through fake positions that a lot of their party organizers hold, if the PNM stop paying that money, the PNM collapse. The Progressive Empowerment Party put a crowd outside the Prime Minister's office, and somebody said at the meeting after, every single person that was there was not only there of their own volition, but they were there out of love of country, and saw the Progressive Empowerment Party as a vehicle that would accomplish that. We didn't pay for a bus, we didn't pay for a maxi taxi, we didn't pay a single person to attend. And that is the difference. We are committed to growing organically, one person to another. People tell each other, you see the media doing their thing, but people tell each other, hey, because they tell me all the time. Boy, when I tell them my partner, my mother, my sister, my girlfriend, father, everybody, a man came to the meeting today, he and his wife, traveled from Faizabad this morning to come, travel from Faizabad to come and protest with us. The only thing I can do is hug up the man. I tell them, make sure, sign him up, organize him. Somebody with that much love of country, that is your caretaker for Faizabad, right there. And it's a husband and a wife team. Boy, Faizabad, you're blessed. Faizabad, you're lucky. Trinidad and Tobago, we need all of our citizens to stand together as one united people under one flag. That is what unites us, our citizenship. That's what makes us all one. We are Trinidadians and Tobagonians together. We don't have to like each other, but it will make life easier because we have to learn to live together. The day we learn to live together and the day we make sure, you know this concept about it takes a village to raise a child, it's a fact. My brother's keeper, absolute fact. You need to know that if you drop down with a stroke or a heart attack tonight, your neighbor gives enough of a shit to help you so that you don't die. Or that if some strange person outside your house or some strange car in the street, what Ole used to call Mako, you see now? Bring back that Mako culture, bring it back. Text people, hey, a blue van outside your house about 15 minutes now. You know what that was? Yeah, that's also. We want that. We want that. Kishan Ramjatan say I day for Faizo too. Come and meet us, Kishan. Come and meet us. We're going to be building out Faizo. Yeah? We need to get our country back and our people empowered. The Progressive Empowerment Party, this is not about us. Certainly not about me. This is about us as a people. We have one plan, one hope, one vision. We long for a day when our people could have other problems other than the madness of living in a non-functional, dysfunctional, malfunctional, broken, incompetent, third world, shithole, cesspool, failed nation, banana republic, narco state. Imagine if you could wake up tonight and realize, wait, now I went to sleep with my front door open, but let me close it because I want a mosquito to come in. You ain't thinking about bandit because bandit don't exist. Bandit have their own house, bandit have their own job, bandit have their own life, they may want yours. Imagine that country. We create bandits by giving them no hope and no opportunity, so when they have to come and steal to survive, we want to give them name and shame. We will keep talking it. We will keep showing that the actual bandit class don't want to be bandits. They want what you want. Maslow's hierarchy of needs transcends time. It transcends race, it transcends class, it transcends religion. In every organization, the whole gang culture exists because we've broken the family and people have needs for intimacy. They need to belong to something. That's why people join gangs. People who in family that have proper love and are actualized at home don't need bullshit from gang. Gang is for people who have none of that. And they have none of that because life in Trinidad and Tobago is too blasted hard for too many people. So your community broken, your neighborhood broken, you have no family, you have no home, you're catching your ass, you're holding on with both hands. And anybody that give a little warmth, anybody that give a leverage that you could use to somehow advance your condition, you're taking that. You're taking that. And I want this to not be a PEP cult. I want this to never be a PEP cult. I want this to be a political party where everybody in this party are constantly challenging up. Challenge your leaders. Challenge them. Bring your ideas, bring your plans, bring your concepts, drive us further. If we say we want to get to the 100-meter mark, when we get there, say, good, rest, take a deep breath, let's try for our next 100. We need to be there. We need to go back to where functionality of the nation required functionality of the community. Because if the home not working, nothing else working. Yeah? What you say? What you say? Tonight was really a pass-through to say hello, to tell you, go with any political party that makes you feel that they will advance not just you, but the ship that you're sailing on to. Because if the captain give you a nice, comfortable bed in your own quarters with nice things hanging on the wall in a ship that's sinking, it don't make sense. You also need to be concerned, like everybody, you see, like everybody who realizes that outside of the gated community, the wolf could find you. Because tonight, if this Polony girl ain't home yet, I thinking 11:30 to 11:30 to tonight. Bodily functions, people get tired, people get hungry. How is this girl feeling where she is? This is a mother of teenage children. She has her own personal needs. That's been robbed from her. That's been robbed from her. She lives life at a certain standard, and they live life insulated. But the wolf outside there wait on her. And I'm trying to tell Trinidad and Tobago that for 2 decades now, that the wolf don't have to scale your wall. At some point, you have to come outside. You cannot just be concerned about your community. Goodwood Park can't stay in Goodwood Park. At some point, Goodwood Park gotta come outside. And when you come outside, all of the shit that you didn't stop to think about meeting you. First time. And you wanna go through it. My heart breaks for every family. I think kidnapping, the penalty for kidnapping should be public execution. That is a transgression of the worst kind. That's trespass on a person. That is using a person as a commodity. Human trafficking, hang you, I'm telling you. And for the people who are not into hanging, I hear you. But I want to tell you, it's time you had a government that was willing to deal with the criminals, drug lords, drug barons, money launderers, hang their ass. Not just murder is a crime in society. The real crimes in society, we stop paying attention to, and it's time we start paying attention to them. Kidnapping and to the family. We own and operate Amber Alert. And from the moment Dane Harford told me that this girl was missing, we put her up on Amber Alert and shared it. We do that. And you may never have heard me say this. That's another public service we do for Trinidad and Tobago. We set up Amber Alert since 2012. And anytime somebody goes missing, it is available to send the information nationally. So we put it up and sent it out. And I hope she comes back home safely. Like Miss Katawaru, like Miss Suku, like everybody else who is missing. We had a Minister of National Security, Edmund Dillon, admit to the nation 2 years ago that 67 or 57 of our women have been trafficked. He didn't tell the nation how he knew. He didn't say where they were. He didn't say who they were. He just gave that arbitrary number in the parliament. You now have Stuart Young as a Minister of National Security. At no point since he said it did the media press him. Donald Trump. It was said that 2 days ago, you used the toilet, you didn't flush, and you didn't wash your hands. We have that as a breaking news story. Care to comment? But in Trinidad and Tobago, 57 of our women could get kidnapped, stolen, bundled in a car. Hema Ramkissoor is a woman. And it befuddles my mind. Desha Rambachan is a woman. Goldie Bruce, all of them, they're women. Why aren't they, as frontline media, every night, every morning, say, hey, we need to address this. Mr. Minister of National Security, where are our women? Where are they? And until everybody, regardless of your circumstance or condition or position in society, realize how easy it is for that to be your situation, because the Polony family didn't think this would be their story tonight. They wouldn't be thinking that. And it is time, and it is way past time. Every single body in this country started to think, how do we get ourselves a functional government? Or how do I get my ass out of Trinidad and Tobago? Because the things that you didn't think that are possible are more than possible in Trinidad and Tobago. This is a broken nation where nothing works. We need to fix it. The responsibility is ours. Governments are just servants we hired. We did a lousy job last time around in the hiring process. It is time to fix that, undo it and redo it. Recall them, fire them. Keith Rowley could posture and stunt all he wanted. If y'all were serious, you would shut the country down completely. Leave the essential services to serve essentially and the rest of us stop. Buy nothing, sell nothing, wait him out. If we do that, we have an election in 2 weeks. When the rain fall, it don't fall on one man's house. We are all exposed. We live in a broken nation, governed by governments and oppositions that have no clue, no plan, no idea. They've wasted an inordinate amount of our time and our money doing foolishness, stunting, and stealing. And because of that, all of our people are at risk tonight. It is time to fix that. And we're not going to fix it on talk, and we're not going to fix it playing games. It is time for a better Trinidad and Tobago. If you think we deserve better, wake up and demand better.
If it is that who you're voting, baby, or not out. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the moving to be your people out. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the time is now that change should come about. Just as how you vote them in. Vote them out. Register and vote them out. If they don't see, vote them out. State your finger and vote them out. Show them no mercy, vote them out. Vote them out with total scorn and utter disdain. Let's put our country together again. Vote them out of power to be victory. Let's put our country together again. If for 30 years you voting them in, and there's only chance as soon as they win, they give you big words and insert your soul, promising your roads and giving potholes.
They will tell you that I am a difficult person, and that is no lie. I am a terrible taskmaster. I am a terrible taskmaster on myself. I set unreasonable goals for myself. I make sure that I lead from behind, from inside the pack. Nobody who works with me could ever tell you that I am lazy or that I work less than anybody else. I am a tough taskmaster. To sign up with me is because you have the ability to go the mile. Because we, make believe it or not, it is far too easy for people to gather together and just old talk, laugh and skin. And while I love a shit talk and a line, this mission is not that. There will be people that you see come on board the PEP and try to make the PEP about them. This is not about that. This is about a political organization dedicated to the redevelopment, the restructuring, and the reorganization of Trinidad and Tobago. This is about an organization dedicated to undoing and redoing the functionality of everything in the country, from the public and private sector, how we line our country up, what works and how it works. We need that to be able to go forward and develop ourselves first world. If you look at all the countries that work, they have plans, policies, and ideas that guide. They have rules and regulations. Nothing in Trinidad and Tobago works. Nothing.
If they are the reason why the economy goes round, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the passing laws that them alone can flout, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the building ISAs, east, west, north, and south, the same way you vote them in, vote them out. Register and vote them out. Totally vote them out. Stick your finger and vote them out. Rescue the country, vote them out. Vote them out with tempo. They happy in vain. Let's put our country together again. Vote them out with calypso and joyous refrain. Let's put our country together again. If their policy is a fallacy, bureaucracy, a catastrophe, if they cannot vote and you see it so, then your only hope is for them to vote.
And I am saying to Trinidad and Tobago that the responsibility for the condition of this country lies with all of us. The failure of the social fabric and the mismanagement of national security that allowed that girl to get kidnapped and all the others is as a result of all of our failure to take an active part in the management of our country, to know what we deserve, to do what we're supposed to do, to make sure Trinidad is properly run. Yeah? Why we don't change that now?
If it is fabrication, these statements that they spout, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is a frustration that's make you want to shout, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. Before they misuse out,
Keep out, sell out, and rates out. If it's you,
vote them in. Vote them out.
clean up your mess.
Register and vote them out. All of them, vote them out. Stick your finger and vote them out.
Them and the system.
Vote them out. Vote them out in Scarborough and in Port of Spain. Let's put our country together again.
You know, this song is so perfectly written. I want to tell you something. I'm a wordsmith and I believe I can write anything. My favorite show series of all times is House. I've watched House about 7 times, binge watched the entire series, to the point where I actually rewrote a better ending to House. And I think that I could write just about anything. And you see this song? This song is so perfectly written. I can't edit it. I can't change it. I can't add anything to it. It is still current and true.
Vote them out in Congo and in Northern May. Let's put our country together again.
Still missing. Zorina Mahabub, age 61, of Southern Main Road, Chase Village, was last seen on Tuesday, 3rd July 2018. please call 555-999 or 800-TIPS or the Freeport Police Station of 673-0026. I am going to create a post on my Facebook for every single person that's still missing in Trinidad and Tobago. Let's see how many people it really is.
People must come first. Citizens by right. None of the others. Yellow, black, or white. Who shelter us first?
Free movement and speech,
A grand approach.
and one law for each.
If it is that injustice is what they always show. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out.
If it is that avarice is all they seem to know,
When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out.
if it is their politics, it's just a puppy show. When elections day come,
All bandits must go.
all 41.
Register and vote them out. If they don't see, vote them out. Save your finger and vote them out. Show them no mercy. Vote them out. Vote them out with total scorn and utter disdain.
Let's put our country together again.
Vote them out of power.
Terminate the reign.
Let's put our country together again.
Let's call the next election pink slips. Let's call the next election pink slips. We firing all 41. If you could defend your track record, why you was in government, what your government did, we will have a conversation. But I want to tell you something. Nothing. None of the lesser evil, straight hair, light skin, whatever bullshit you're telling yourself. Trinidad is a shithole because the PNM and the UNC took it upon themselves to misuse their time in office, to enrich themselves, their friends, their family, and their finances, and to ass with you. And they made that decision because they didn't care. And if you care about yourself, it's time for some pepper to burn them. PepTT.com. Join the side. Join the party.
We don't need no more of the tell them wicked people. Fire go Monday. Oh Lord, I said this is the year for love. Fire go Monday. Silly boy, you and mother gone. Another one just gone. Boy, you beat your chest and smile. Say you's a madman. Another young boy fall. Your soul can rest at night. Oh, you's a bad man. Bad man is a man who just defend the man and protect the young ones by any means, Lord. You ain't no bad man, boy, now. You ain't no bad man. I real bad man just make his own decisions. You don't need anyone. The only means, Lord. You ain't no bad man, boy, now. You ain't no bad man. Stop.
Sit down, rock back,
Tell them I don't need no structure
to defend my people.
from wicked and evil. Oh, stop. Sit down, rock back. Big man, look for a walk. You're too damn evil. If it is just my people, then fire go Monday. Fire go Monday.
When I tell you I love that song, eh boy? And I vex. He make it into our orchard. It was too soon. It was too soon. Anyway, good people of Trinidad and Tobago, all of you, each and every one of you, could be a positive force for change. We together could grow. You ever watch how ripples move in a pond? Be positive ripples. We could change the surface of this game. Trinidad and Tobago was made to be paradise on earth. We were made to be the best country in the world. Trinidad and Tobago was blessed by a kind and benevolent God and was endowed with things that no other nation in the world has. We have things that we could boast. No other country could boast about. We are the nicest, best, most beautiful people in the world, beset and bedraggled by some shit snake politicians and some greedy ass businessmen, unethical media, lawyers and accountants. All I can fix. That is not a problem. You and your vote, you and your consumption, you and your labor. It is time. It is time. It is way past time that we took responsibility for our country and fixed it. Keith Rowley, he knows, What I'm about to tell you here, Keith Rowley already knows. He just hope you don't know. But I'm about to tell you something here that you will know the exact same thing that the Prime Minister knows, that Keith Rowley is overdue for a firing. You ever heard about the Peter Principle, where you're promoted to your level of maximum incompetence? He passed that 2 levels down. Should not only hire him on racist motive, it is time to fire him and set the record right and fire all 41 in the parliament. Don't take on nothing that any of them tell you, because look around. If the police service still broken, the army still dysfunctional, the coast guard still ain't working, people can't afford food, people can't afford to live, people can't get homes, people can't get jobs, the banks doing you what you want, the business community doing it. Oh Christ, man, what did they accomplish? What? Besides making friends and finances rich. Anyway, tomorrow we in Arouca are looking forward to seeing all of you. Pack the house for me, please. We have a message to bring, and we need to take it throughout the country. And because it is just because time is of the essence, we need to make sure that everywhere we go, that we have the greatest number of people to speak to at one time, so that we can inform, educate, and empower, liberate, and emancipate the masses, so that they could go and share the message themselves. Yeah. So tomorrow at 5 Rivers, Arouca, at the intersection by some pavilion bar, we will be there. I hope to see all of you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Until then, stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.